There were a lot of twists in Spider-Man Far From Home, some that we expected and some that we didn't expect. How's it going, everyone? It's Warren, and don't worry, I won't be talking about any spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home in this video if you have not seen it yet. Now, before Spider-Man Far From Home came out, there were a lot of leaks about the movie. Obviously, a lot of them ended up not being true, like the one that stated that we would be introduced to Oscorp and the Sinister Six in one of the post-credit scenes for the movie. Now, obviously and sadly, if you have seen the movie, you know that this did not happen. In fact, no mention of any future villain for the next Spider-Man film was mentioned at all in the post-credit scenes. However, today, thanks to the director of Spider-Man Far From Home, Jon Watts, we do have an idea of who the next villain could be in the next Spider-Man film thanks to what he said in an interview. So let's talk about this villain that the director has named. Also, a quick reminder, if you'd like a chance to win a Captain America shield, an Iron Man helmet, an Infinity Gauntlet, or another Marvel Legends item, be sure to subscribe to my channel to enter my giveaway. I'll be picking 3 winners at 450,000 subscribers. So of course, after Spider-Man Far From Home came out, Jon Watts has been asked many questions about the movie, including why he didn't bring back some villains into the movie like Vulture or Scorpion, and also what his plans are, of course, for the next villain in the next Spider-Man film. In a recent interview, he stated that he really enjoys introducing characters that the audience has never seen on the big screen before. And when he was asked about which character he would introduce as the villain in Spider-Man 3, he replied, "I always just try to start with what we haven't seen before, and there's so many Spider-Man villains. I mean, the fact that I got to bring Hydro Man and Molten Man to a movie, really, I get a kick out of that. But no, I don't know who's next. I always like to think about it in terms of what's going to be the most difficult thing for Peter, so that's going to be the next trick." Now, he says he doesn't know, but when he is asked again, he actually mentions a villain by name. When he was asked again, he said, "Oh, I would love Kraven. It's just the trick of how do you do Kraven in a movie?" Now, what's really interesting about his answer, Kraven as the next villain in Spider-Man 3, is that we've known for some time now, about 2 years, that Sony has been developing a Kraven the Hunter movie for their own universe. In fact, in August, they hired Richard Wenk to write the script for the Kraven the Hunter movie. Everybody just assumed that this is going to be a Kraven the Hunter movie, but what if it's actually a script for Spider-Man 3 and Kraven the Hunter is going to be the villain? This actually ties in pretty perfectly with how Spider-Man Far From Home left off. And one very important thing to note is that Kraven the Hunter is the half-brother of Chameleon, who we saw in the movie. In the comics, Chameleon is the one who calls Kraven the Hunter to go and defeat Spider-Man. And considering the mid-credit scene for Spider-Man Far From Home, this makes sense and wouldn't be that hard. And there will probably be a lot of people hunting Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man film. So it's a perfect opportunity and setup to introduce Kraven the Hunter in Spider-Man 3. Now, Jon Watts said that his concern was how to do it, how to introduce Kraven the Hunter. But a lot of people were wondering how he was going to introduce Mysterio and all of his illusions on the big screen, and he absolutely killed it. Mysterio was one of the coolest villains to see on the big screen, especially with all of his illusions. And Watts did a great job of incorporating some aspects from the comics into the movie as well. So I have no doubt that he would have no problem introducing Kraven the Hunter in Spider-Man 3. What are your thoughts on Jon Watts, the director of Spider-Man Far From Home and the next Spider-Man film, teasing the introduction of Kraven the Hunter as the villain of the next Spider-Man film? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to comment with your favorite superhero or villain, like this video, and subscribe to my channel so you can enter my giveaway and stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.